Hi, this is Cheryl Zwolgy from Astral Connection. Boy, am I excited about this interview. Here with me I have Patricia Connor and Joy Ross, and do they have a story to tell us? And I can't wait to get into this. So let's start. Joy, tell us about yourself first.
About me personally?
Yeah, tell us about
Well, I'm an old hippie. I'm 35 now, and I got the tail end of it. No, I'm kidding, but I am an old hippie. And I'm a writer.
Okay.
And I have a couple of books on the market, Direct Sales, Be Better Than Good, Be Great, and one that Patricia and I just did together called The Kindness Ambassador. And then together, Patricia and I teach authors how to write, and then we publish them in a book called Heart, Mind, Wisdom.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Patricia, you've written stuff too, haven't you?
I have.
Will you
Yes.
share with us?
Yes. I actually wrote under the name of Asha for a South Asian magazine for a while.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's an
I was
Indian
given
name.
that. Yes, I was given that name by Daya, who's a healer that was working at Astral Connections, actually.
Wow.
And
Fascinating.
yes, and so I have articles in news magazines, and then I was an English teacher, so I had an English lesson in the Japanese newspaper for quite a long time. And I did some work at university where I did some translating work as well, and that book is being used in second year Spanish.
So before you did all this work, what did Patricia do?
Oh my goodness. That's a long story. How long do we have, Shine?
We have as long as we need. We have as long as we need.
I've done many things in my life. I'm very, very fortunate.
How'd
I
you-
went to UBC, and I have my Bachelor of Arts in Languages.
Okay.
And I have worked in private industry. I have worked for nonprofit companies, and I have had my own businesses.
Wow, it's quite the story there.
Yeah.
And so I also understand you have a passion for the psychic gifts
Yes.
and the intuitive gifts. And tell us about that story a little bit.
So I believe that you are born with those gifts.
Okay,
I believe that we're all gifted.
Absolutely.
And it just depends on how you bring them out. And I was lucky enough to find people during my lifetime that I felt very comfortable with, and one of those people is Lois. And so really, when I met Lois, I had given up that part of my life for many years.
Giving it up, so when did you know it before that?
I would say when I was a child and a teenager.
Ah,
And then I let it go for a while, and I went into more of working and the corporate world. And there really wasn't much space for that there. And then I realized that I needed to come back to it, and I was lucky enough to meet Lois at that time.
and what made you realize you needed to come back to it?
Because my life wasn't fulfilling enough.
Okay. What about you, Joy?
In terms of psychic ability?
Oh, intuition.
I'm very intuitive. The whole mission that we're doing right now came to me in a message in Patricia's magic backyard.
Yes.
And it was, well, I had a couple of messages. One, I was a gaming addict for a while and was trying to quit and couldn't quit, so I turned it up.
A gaming addict.
Yes, I was the, favorite at the casino. Hi, Joy.
Oh, that-
They knew me by name.
I'm gaming addict.
And it was costing me a little bit of money. So anyways, I decided to, call in a higher power for help. And I thought, when I turned it up and I said, what is it that I need? And I thought what I would hear was a kick in the head or to win the lottery because, I had lost a lot of money. And I heard you need kindness. And I turned that to mean, or I interpreted that to mean that in order to heal, I had to be kind to myself. And as long as I was beating myself up or worrying about where I didn't want to be in life instead of where I wanted to be in life, it was never going to work. And so Patricia and I discussed it, decided that self-kindness was the key to healing everything, from the planet to animals to any, ailment or affliction. So we now have kindness is key. And then the Heart, Mind, Wisdom book all came about from messages too.
That's right.
Everything was just this message after message. And I really think that if you listen to all the different signs that are out there, that, as Patricia's already said, the gifts are just there for the taking.
Okay.
We all have those abilities.
And so when you were younger, did you experience those gifts, or?
My first experience was when I was 7.
Okay.
And my grandmother, great-grandmother was dying, but I didn't know what death was. And one day I just knew she wasn't ever going to see her again. And so I was screaming and hollering and, you know, being a little kid trying to get to go see her. And in those days, kids couldn't go to the hospital. And so Mom told me later that night that that was it with Grandma. And so somehow Grandma and I had some kind of a connection that she was able to say, my great-grandmother, say goodbye without me even knowing what death was. So, you know, for me it was really young too, and my whole family's psychic. My mom's afraid of it.
Okay.
She doesn't like her messages, but she gets them. We all do. I've seen, you know,
absolutely.
spirits and yeah.
I've had that experience.
You have too?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
We can talk about that another time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up, you talked a little bit about kindness is key. We talked a little bit about the fact that you've both written publications. Tell us a little bit about Kindness and Key and the whole program and how it works.
Oh, it's an excellent program.
How does someone find you, first of all?
How do they find us?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting story too, because what we found is that people have found us.
Wonderful.
And it's been a very easy way, and what we say is that they have sort of come down into the peace pod. And we have met just absolutely marvelous people. And right now, I guess we're up to almost 60 authors.
Right, so what we do is we have books, and so we actually have a classroom, and people come and we train in everything from writing. Patricia's our public speaking expert, so she helps them with that. And then we all publish, so 21 authors per book, and we've got 2 classes completed, so we're just in the editing stages of, you know, the first 2 Heart, Mind, Wisdom books. And now we're starting to write book 3 and 4, which is Sister to Sister and Brother to Brother. So you tell them about Brother to Brother.
Brother to Brother is something that, at least as far as we know, has never been done before. And it's a book that for men, writing for men. So out of the man's perspective. If you look at the self-help market or self-development market, it's usually men writing for women. Usually it's the man at the front and there's a whole bunch of women in the audience, or women writing for women. And we decided that it would be a great idea for men to start writing for men. What do men have to say to other men?
To other men.
Yeah.
From
That's
a
a
real
fascinating
male
idea.
perspective, right? So, I mean, it's not women as women, and come on girls, let's tell the truth. We're always trying to fix our guys, right? And I think the guys don't want to be fixed by the girls. I think that if they're going to be truly enlightened on a heart level, that it has to come from men who, you know, have already kind of experienced whatever and growing and sharing. So, so it's men.
Okay, so now we're talking about men to men, but before men to men, there's all these other categories, and there's going to be others, is that right?
Yes, we're going to do a total of 13 books.
Okay, and why 13?
That's the number that came to us. 13 is really quite an important number to us.
Okay.
We have the 13 kindness keys.
Okay,
So if you go on our website, which is kindnessiskey.com, you will see our video, which is an excellent video. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it or not. And it's 13. And then the singer on that video, who is fantastic, is Denise Hagen, and she's going to be at the concert, at the Peace concert. She met with us and gave us permission to use her music, and then we wanted to buy some CDs from her. And she said, well, I only sell them in 13s. So, you know, it just seems to be, and we've started, I think,
synchronicities in there that brought the 13 together.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we've started courses on the 13th.
Not on purpose.
No, it just seems to
Just happens that way. 13, 13, 13, yeah. And actually, we're up to 13 performers at the Human Peace Sign.
Yeah, that was not
So-
intentional at all.
Just keeps going back to 13.
That's fascinating. You have an event coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's a very special event, and it is the Guinness World Records largest human peace sign event. So we're going for the world record, for the Guinness World Record.
And what is the world record?
The world record right now stands at 5,815 people.
So you need over 6,000 people to break
We're going
this
for
record?
6,000. We're expecting 6,000 people there.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's planned, and you're almost certain they're going to be there, or you're absolutely certain?
We're asking for 16,000 people. 16,000, oh my goodness, it just got a lot
Probably
bigger.
get 13,000 because we do everything in 13. So
I get 16,000.
I was going to say it'll probably be 13,000.
Yeah.
Good luck next year.
Yeah, I know, because we have to beat it every year. It's trouble.
Fascinating. And then what's going to happen here? There's performers. You mentioned performers. What else?
Well, we're tied in with a great group of people called the World Kindness Concert out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
Brock Tooley.
Yeah, I know Brock.
You know Brock?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
The
Brock's the
Yellow Kindness Bands.
Exactly, the Yellow Kindness Band. So he is the MC, and a lot of the performers who perform at that are coming out to perform here. So it's
Ah,
kind
that
of
makes
cool.
sense. Okay.
Yeah, and we're just telling everyone it's the mini kindness concert moved outdoors. Because, so much happens in Vancouver, and it's so nice to have, something out here that's, this magnitude and that kind of a feeling and a purpose, so it's kind of cool. And they've been wonderful. The World Kindness Concert's been really wonderful
Yeah.
with helping us and all
Yeah,
those people.
absolutely.
And our friend Ted Kuntz wrote the book Peace Begins With Me.
Begins with Me.
Yeah, he's
One of
speaking.
Lois's favorites.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite books too. Great message. He's speaking. And there will be entertainment from noon till 4 p.m.
Okay.
And at 1:30 we take an aerial photograph. And that photograph of all us humans, all 6,000 of us standing together in the peace sign. So the peace sign's like the circle and then the wishbone in the center, like that one.
Okay.
Not this peace sign. This peace sign, like this one.
Okay.
And from the aerial photographs, we're going to make calendars for 2013. And then we will sell them through all businesses and, everyone who wants to be involved, organizations, people, all of us, of course. And all the profits in total go to a wonderful organization called the Mercy Ships Foundation.
So Patricia, tell us about Mercy Ships.
I'm happy to tell you about Mercy Ships. We're very, very proud of being able to work with them. And the way that they came to us was through one of our authors.
You mentioned
Arnold.
that you had another charity before.
Yes,
Understand.
we were all set up to give 5% of all the profits from the books to a charity. And we're trying to start to work with one. I won't mention which one it was, but things just did not jive.
Right.
And what we found in our project since the beginning is that things fall very easily together. So if it wasn't working, then it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
And one of our authors decided that he was going to give part of what he made from the sales of his books to Mercy Ships.
Right.
So we asked him about Mercy Ships, and he told us all about it. And Arnold is actually a retired sea captain. And so he chose this charity because they have, what it is that it's a ship called Africa Mercy. And they have 7 operating rooms on board. And they travel in the west part of Africa. And they stop at different ports. And then people know that the ships are coming and they get free dental and medical help.
Oh, nice.
So it's just very, very, and
really-
very amazing charity. And so we're thrilled, and we contacted them, and they want to work with us. So they will be there. They will be at the event.
Oh, nice. We're going to be there too. Astral will be there.
Yeah.
So happy that you're
We're
coming.
glad you-
Yes.
And Lois is going to bring those great iced coffees that they make at Astral Connections. I've heard little
Yeah.
stories.
As long as she agrees to make them and I don't have to, that's all.
She only
good.
has to bring one. Maybe 2.
Just for you, right?
Just for me, yeah. And also, what else is cool about Mercy Ships is that absolutely everybody's volunteer.
Everybody's a volunteer on board.
Yeah.
Yes. So 400 people.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Nurses, doctors, dentists, writers, cooks, everybody volunteers the time to go.
So is there any other charities involved in the event? at
In the
all?
event, yes, we've asked Surrey Food Bank to come. So they're coming with their truck. So we're asking everyone that comes to and attends the event to bring a non-perishable item.
Right.
And also, we have invited the schools, and Joy mentioned the calendar for
I mean,
Mercy
they get the
Ships.
day off that day?
Well,
We're working on it.
we're working on it. We don't have an official peace
Yeah.
day yet, but maybe in a couple of years.
Yes, it's coming. Well,
But it's coming. We do have one school that's very, very close by, and the whole school is coming,
Oh,
and they're
wow.
walking. They're walking to the
It's a
event.
private
so that's
school.
great. It's a private
wow.
school. So yeah. So we're making cards with the peace ring on the front, with a picture of the peace ring, and we will offer them to the schools at cost so they can use it for fundraising.
Oh.
And it's a great thing for Christmas because the peace sign doesn't have any kind of association with any religious
No, absolutely
entity.
not.
So,
Anybody
yeah,
can get that.
anybody can use them.
And that's
Yeah.
a big issue in the school, so it will solve a big problem for them, so it's kind of cool. So if they celebrate peace, who cares, right? Everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, okay, we talked about other charities. You have other events coming up leading up to the largest peace sign. Tell us
Yes,
about
we
those.
do. We have our hippie dance.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, of course it does.
Right, staying with the theme.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
hippie movement.
Yeah,
peace
so
sign.
that's on September the 8th,
Okay,
and it's at Shannon Hall,
okay,
and you have to come dressed as a hippie,
okay.
and there are going to be
It's
prizes.
pretty easy, but okay.
It's easy for some of us, but not everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go through the hippie movement.
No.
I missed it, yeah.
No, I'm going to be like Wayne Dyer as we progress, and I'm going to do all my seminars in bare feet.
Oh, yeah.
bare feet.
Yeah, bare feet. And if I got away, I would even go as far as pajamas, but I ought to stick with the flowing hippie
Joy works in her
outfits.
pajamas.
I love pajamas.
I love pajamas too.
It's the joy of being a writer, right? You can write in your pajamas.
How long have you been writing for?
Since I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah, and my first attempt was Harlequin Romance. Was really fun, and it was long before computers, so I was, banging them out on the electric typewriter, the ball of white out, up your arms by the time the day was over, and it was really fun because I had done some writing first with the little magazines at first, those True magazines or whatever they were called. Then I got serious and started to write with Harlequin Romance in mind, and I was living in Toronto at the time, and I had taken the whole year off to do this. And I had 5 female roommates, so whenever the hero was not doing the right thing, because he has to start out being a jerk so that he can fall in love and become a good guy, right? That's how it works in romance. And I would get to a point where the hero was being a jerk, and they would come home after school, because they were all university students, and they would gather around the kitchen table, and I would read what I had written. And they would yell at me. Whenever the hero was a monster, I'd have 5 women yelling at me. So
Whenever the hero was a monster.
yeah, I'd get in trouble, right? So I was thinking, finally, an author we can yell at.
But in the end, the guy...
He's always great in the end. It was Harlequin, yeah. That's right. Yeah, happy ending.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm exhausted of questions. Is there anything you want to share?
What would you
Well,
like to
one thing that came to mind that's kind of fun, because it fits with Astral Connections, is that, and I hope you don't mind me giving away our ending, but in the Kindness Ambassador, and it's the Kindness Ambassador and the Sugarholic Prosecutor, well, in the end, someone dies. And our next book is going to be between life. Patricia will be in her dream is to have a healing resort in Costa Rica. And so, and I die in the book, and so I'm going to be downloading from heaven, Life in Heaven, and Patricia's going to be talking about being in Costa Rica, and the 13 kindness keys become the 13 healing rooms, I guess, right? Integrity, kindness, etc. And that's going to be our next story, so it'll be really fun and fits in with all the things that we believe about the purpose in life and communication with this side and the other. So
Can I suggest an ending for this interview?
yes,
Can you name the 13 kindness keys for everybody?
we can sure try. So the first one is, I know 4 is integrity, because we talked about that one a lot.
4 is integrity, because that's a very important one.
So
for
there's
me.
harmony, there's
gratitude,
love, gratitude, live, prosperity,
action,
purpose. Anyways, I'll have to buy the book.
That's right. That's
Every
right.
chapter in the book is one of the kindness keys, and it's not only a fun story, but it actually is a very healing book. And when you're done, everyone who's read it, because we've had people read it, really love it. So we'll come back and see you if you have us.
Absolutely.
When we get that, ready to go to
When you
the
got
market.
that ready to go,
Couple months,
we'll have to
it'll-
come and do
it'll
a
be
book
here.
preview then.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yes,
That would
we'll
be
love
fun.
that.
Thanks, ladies.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice, Joy.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Patricia.
Shira Rose.
Okay.